Hello, this is Benjamin John Pope, and this is the second lesson on HTML as a text document creation. And what we're doing is we're opening the folder we created, which according to me was Web Design Practice, I think. HTML website training homepage. Just open the HTML document, and as we left off, it's a blue line according to our first body text. So let's just minimize that. Open our code, which is a text document. We're going to select this piece and copy it. Control copy, Control C. We're going to delete it, and the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to put in a table. So a table is table, and then it's the shut-in tags or the closing tags. Table again. We're now going to give the table a table row, which is tr. Closing tags again. In the middle of it, we need to type in a table column, but if you think of table depth, then you know it's td. Inside of this, we want to create a paragraph, but we already have the paragraph, so Control and V, and it's not pasting. So we need to write the whole code out again. So P, shut down P, and then in the paragraph we need to put an image. img source equals imgs / go back to your folder, open your images file, copy the name, place it like in the same place I taught you, Control and V, realise it's PNG, shut that down. So file, save as .html, homepage.html, save, yes, file, folder, open the home page, and nothing's there. You must have a typo. Hold on, that might not be true. It is there. Is this the... I'm just going to double check this because I had two files open, and sure enough it's not complete. So img source, I know what it is. It's the quotation marks. Save as .html, and now the bar is there again, and I'm going to talk to you again about height equals 30 pixels, basically because the original image was that exact definition to height according to the graphics application which I use, Animate. So width equals 100%, and it doesn't change the height because of the 30 pixels that's stuck. It changes just the width according to closing and opening the, well, not closing and opening, changing the size of the window. And I do 100%. What I do is I have a 1024 ratio of width according to the original screen that was perfectly, I think it was 14.9, something like that. But let's just test this. Save as .html .html, save, yes, refresh. Nothing's happening. Height, width. Oh, it's shut down. It's shut down. Image source. Height 30 pixels. File, save as .html, save, overwrite, and it's still not working. There's little errors like this sometimes when you're building something, and what I need to do, I think, height 30, oh, table width equals 100%, and that is file save as .html. Does this work? And it does. Right, let me explain this. The table is set with attributes if it is just table. The table holds the table row. So you could say that the 100% would only activate according to the table being the exact right diameter. But we can also say, the reason I know the table is there, because if you type table, I think it's table border, so border equals 1, file save as, home page save, yes, that's backing up your code, save as .html, save. Right, now you should see the borderline, so refresh, and you see what's happened. It has a border, and if you're designing and making different columns, which is, to me, I call it table depth to remember the TD, you can add more table depths, which is basically a column. So there'd be two ratios of it, so there'd be two cells basically, depending on how many you have. But the reason you should put border 1 to start with is to understand where the table definitely is with size, etc. But when you finish your design, have no border, because you don't want to see the border, you only want to see the graphic. So refresh, and there it is, just graphic. So now what I'm going to do, just to somehow show you that you can do it and edit it in any way, the horizontal rule here is here, across the top. We'll keep it in there just as like some sort of analyzation. The first paragraph is that text, but what we're going to do is we're going to call it a title. So I'm going to call it Ultra Genes website. That's H3 still. So file, save as the text. Then file, save as the HTML document. Save, yes. Refresh, Ultra Genes website. And the most perfect thing to do now would be to put in a logo. So we need to go table, closing tag, we need to then give it a row, table row TR, closing tag, and now TD, table column or table depth, shut the tag. I always put a paragraph in. It just makes me happier to read my code. P, closing tag P, and now we're going to do the same as this here, the IMGs, and if you just copy that part of it, say control copy, which is control C, control paste, which is control V. I did a little mistake, but it's easy to sort out. We now want to change this, but what we're going to do is, I have files I already used, so I'm going to go to pictures, go to, just put this large, go to UG logos, go into my logos, and I'm going to put in a transparent logo. I'm just going to put this logo in there. It's a bit blue on top of white, so copy it, copy back to the original folder I was using, which is documents, HTML web training, IMGs, paste. Now you copy what it's called, go back to the document and just replace this piece, and believe it or not, that will be defined. But what you have to do now is align to the right. I'm going to align, and that's as simple as that. So file, save as, homepage.html, save, yes, file, save as, homepage, save, overwrite, and then we'll test this. So refresh, and there you have a logo, and it's quite technical like it, but because that's on a paragraph, because I want to get rid of this here now, and the reason I'm doing that is because you can't analyze the size of it. So save as .html, save, yes, refresh, and now it's a little bit better. But what we definitely want to do is something that I probably wouldn't do, because I use exact, well, colouring according to designing elements, but this table row can be background colour, so BG colour equals, and I'm going to say blue, and then I'm going to save that file, save as .html, save, yes, refresh, and now it's just a box, right? But we already know why that is. According to me, we have not made the table 100%. So now, file, save as .html, save, yes, and then refresh, refresh, didn't happen, and there's a typo. So file, save as .html, save, yes, and I think it's working on the work, and sure enough it did. But what clearly happened was that this part of it got aligned in the wrong way, but it's referring to there's no referring there apart from the paragraph. So really it changes the definition of letters. So what you want to do is grab a line right, and the reason I did that is to analyse, because you can change it with the paragraph in different ratios, but it's obviously ratios of text, and just type it in here, a line right. So file, save as, home.html, save, yes, refresh, and there we go. So this part of it, right, the blue, obviously doesn't match. So I've told you to study the way colours are defined in HTML, but what I'm going to do is turn it to, well, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to delete that colour background. File, save as homepage.html, save, refresh. I'm also going to get rid of the horizontal line. I don't like using them. Some people do, some people don't. I've taught you ratios of exact design, basically, according to alignment, etc. So really this is a tutorial about tables, and now I'm going to save it, save as, homepage, save, overwrite, and I'm going to let you now work out how to use the navigation. So if I've talked to you about how you make a table row, which that is one table column, TD. So another table column would be TD and closing tag TD. But that would be inside of this table, not inside of this table. And that TD would be, according to me, a break and another cell within this table. So if I say border equals 1, then save it, file, save as, homepage, back up the code, yes, file, save as, homepage .html, save, yes, refresh, and you see the outline. But where is the other table? It's exactly here. This column is there. So if I said to this column here, width equals 50%, and then save it, file, save as, homepage, save, yes, file, save as, .html, save, yes, refresh, and there we go. The line is perfectly in the middle. And then what you'd do is you'd use single images like this logo and place them here according to alignment. And I thank you for listening.